In 03, the difference, I suppose, was we were such young kids and we didn't really think about it too much. We just got out and played football. And all our senior players were just unbelievable. They told us exactly what had to be done and how it had to be done, and we just sort of, backed them. In the semi-finals, it was really good. John Lang was awesome for us. He was pretty straight down the line kind of guy. Nothing really changed too much. We knew exactly how our training week looked. It never changed. And then grand final week finally come around, and again, nothing changed. We still had our Monday session, named the team on Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. We had our games day, always had Wednesday off, no matter what. It was Wednesday off, didn't matter where we were. But I do remember, like, grand final day, our skipper, Craig Gower, at the time, he would always sleep before the game. It was pretty bizarre. And as the years went on and he started playing the thing, he said, how did he ever do that? But I remember grand final night, he was just laying there, he's having a sleep. It was about 15 minutes before we have to be ready to warm up. And he's still sitting in his tracksuit asleep on the floor. Those guys, the senior players, how relaxed they were and how much belief they had in the team and how much belief they had in the young fellas just gave us every bit of confidence that we needed. And when you know your role and you understand what your plan is out in the footy field, you can just go and execute it. But if you change it too much during the week, it sort of makes you start to think, oh, it's a bigger game, we've got this, we've got to do this, and nothing really changed for us. The only thing that changed was the last game of the year. Penrith, they just knew their game so well last year. They were on fire. They won all those games in a row. They got the grand final and they lost. But at the end of the day, they just didn't play their best game on the night. Sometimes a little bit of nerves gets to you. The occasion gets to you. The team in Melbourne, preparation, they knew what was on the line. They knew how good Penrith were. So, in the back of their mind is going, if we're not on, if we're just 1% off, we'll lose against the Penrith side. So, you sort of got to weigh both of them up. But I think the way that Penrith's games coming together this year, where they had a really good run, a little bit of a taper off. They had that origin period, was probably a bit of an origin hangover, a few injuries that didn't go their way, but they're really getting all their players back. They're a little bit freshened up. It's very hard to to see that the Panthers, if they can play their best game over the next sort of 4 weeks, how they can actually lose. I really like what Ivan Cleary's done with the Penrith side over the last couple of weeks. They brought Viliami off the bench, and you got obviously Tavita Pangai Jr. there as well, but that impact is unbelievable. Just because as soon as the other teams had about 20 minutes under their legs, they're starting to get a little bit of fatigue. You're bringing on someone like Viliami, who's pretty much unstoppable when the team's fully fit and ready to go. And watching over the last couple of weeks, I'm happy to stick with what Ivan Cleary's done there with Liam Martin and Kurt Capewell to start the game, then bring Viliami on 20 minutes in, and then good luck to the other team trying to handle him. When I first come in and I was on the wing, me and Luke Rooney, I remember Craig Gower used to say to make sure at the field at 7 o'clock we're doing, kicking. So he'd be out there working on his kicking game, his crossfield kicks, but we had to catch every ball, right? So he'd be hoiking them up at the post, and it was just about making sure that we were on time, and we executed that so that Gowie was getting his best kick on, and it was pretty easy. Now you look at the wingers, mate, they're another hit up forward. The amount of metres, the amount of work they're doing, plus at the end of the day, the way they're finishing tries off, with the corner post rule, the way they're jumping, mate, half of these guys have got 95% of their body in the touch line, and they're still getting the ball down. It's absolutely freaky. And look, I couldn't imagine being on the wing these days, but these guys are so good to watch. And talk about Brian Ty, he's probably one of my favourite players to watch because he's just a machine, mate. And so much work he does for those forwards in that Penrith side takes a lot of pressure off him. Well, the good thing about Nathan Cleary, and this is what I've loved about his game, is that he can just be a player that sits back and executes a game plan to a T and get everyone around him to stay nice and calm and stay in the plan. I don't think you can really contain him, no matter how you do it. We might be able to stop his running game, but he'll execute his kicking game. We might be able to stop his kicking game, but he'll execute his passing game. So look, I'm a big believer if Nathan Cleary's not playing, I don't think Penrith can win the grand final. But if Nathan Cleary's playing, it doesn't matter what you're doing. If the other guys around him are on, Nathan Cleary will steer you the win.